Right, good morning TI community from the UK. Good morning remote neural monitorers in the block of flats or wherever you're watching from. Because the TIs have to keep it real and do not repeat anything they transmit to you, because that's what they want. They want you to repeat what they transmit to you so that you sound deluded. Now, I watched an old video from 3 years ago when I was in my old flat, just having a little sing-along, mixing the words up. Probably sounded like I was stuttering, but don't forget to mess around with sound recordings, and then they make out my old associates want a memory of it all, and they're laughing about it all. Well, they can laugh as much as they want because they're all part of the targeting. Yeah, the old association, your old school friends, people from the local community who you knew when you were younger in your teenager days. Yeah, who now some of them people work in the sectors or training, learning or involved in the targeting program as overt operators, as sneaky covert operators, as idiots who sit behind the computer screens, behind the phone screens, on the computers, or if they work for the sectors, somewhere in the office, in the cinema room, watching what the covert operators are trying to do to the target. And that's trying to break the target down via psychological warfare operations, using subliminal messaging, voice to skull, all different ways of doing it. Sonar, radar, sensors implemented around you, operated from someone in your local neighbourhood, next door, flat, if you live in an apartment, flat, downstairs, to the left, to the right, or if it's not your property, or even if it's your property and they've had someone sneaking in, a contractor, to put in sensors and circuits around you. Yeah, they can amplify the sound around you, and then they have the covert operators using see-through all or sensors beamforming around you. Yeah, and then they can see whatever the target is, and they'll network that back to remote neural monitors and people that get access to in the targeting program in the community. They use as overt operators, use as phone callers, scripted statement and witness makers, and they'll do it for as long as it takes, thinking that eventually the target's going to be broken down, demoralised, depressed, going to start screaming and shouting, effing and blinding, showing mental illness or in the forms of insanity, in the forms of shouting, and then the neighbours who they conspire with, they'll record it all, or the covert operators will record it all, remote neural monitors will record it all, and they'll pass it on to their scripted, paid witnesses they've manipulated, who are part of a targeting program, or who are part of your local authority, who work for the police, who work for the sectors, social services, healthcare, NHS, medical organisations, the industry. Yeah, it's all covered up, and that's all part of the targeting program. So I've experienced it for 18 years. So compared to how I was when the program first started in my old block of flats, which was like in America, you call it the ghettos, slums, council estates in the UK. Yeah, so they've got all kinds of riffraff in there, all kinds of lowlifes in there, drug dealing, doing crime. Yeah, and that's what I lived for 18 years. And so, rather obsessed with me, because the people who were learning it all, a new generation of targeting idiots, a new generation of government idiots, a new generation of corrupted, racketeering local authority members, linked to the police, linked to social services, linked to the NHS, medicals, industry, organisations in the UK, linked to mental health, psychiatry, psychology, sociology, human behavioural science. Yeah, and they're all trying to master the art of setting up Big Brother on people, mastering how to play psychology with them, and watching and seeing if they can break the target down. And the audience members, they've got nothing better to do, or they're learning about a targeting program. Yeah, they're just sitting there hoping the target freaks out, gets broken down, and gets sectioned under the Mental Health Act. Yeah, so that's why you've got all these dirty voyeurs who's sitting elsewhere with the remote neural monitoring teams and the local corrupted police force, the undercovers and the social services, the NHS in the UK, which is all part of the medical industry, and the mental health organisations that are involved in it all. That's why they give access to the local community, because the local community, they're as corrupted ask the people who set up these Big Brother remote neural monitoring setups on targets, and they're all involved in crime. And then, like my generation, they've got sons and daughters who've gone to college, gone to university to work for the government eventually. Yeah, whether it's psychology, psychiatry, sociology, human behavioural science, yeah, healthcare, NHS, it's all linked together, and they're all part of a targeting programme. Even the ambulance crew drivers, even the firemen, the armed forces boys and girls. Now, all the people from my generation, slightly younger and older, my age, yeah, they've got sons and daughters who work for the government, and because they're corrupted, they've corrupted their sons and daughters, even if they work for the government. Yeah, and so they're learning all this targeting, and whoever works for the government has to have access to these corrupted families, and then the covert abusers beam all the different names, all the different families from 20, 30 years ago that I used to know, yeah, thinking that I'm going to freak out and mention all the names on social media. Now, don't get me wrong, I probably did it when the targeting was first started and ramped up, but the longer you are in the programme and the more knowledge you've got about it all, you realise, yeah, that's how they're trying to stitch and frame up targeted individuals via the Mental Health Act. Yeah, they want targeted individuals to not be able to explain the targeting programme properly. Yeah, and then they use the social services to come knocking, or getting people to make phone calls to social workers so that they can try and assess the targets. And they'll have it in for you. They'll make up loads of lies about the assessment and try and stitch a target up into mental health. Well, there's so much different aspects of the targeting programme. We're not there to help people, and there's all different psychological stitch-up, frame-up scenarios, along with the radiation, yeah, that can disable targets. Yeah, and depending on how well the target is, they'll look to put the target into an AD care home or into a mental health institution. Yeah, so that's why they're targeting my mother, because they're looking to put her into an AD care home, and I'm making sure they don't by exposing the targeting in the UK. So the Covert team leader and his covert operators, they can go on about long-term and short-term. I ain't going nowhere because I've exposed the social workers, exposed your healthcare, NHS, mental health detaining system. And if I don't step out of line, and you ain't going to use the neighbours, because I'm not shouting out the window, you're not going to use Richard, you're not going to use the neighbour downstairs, you're not going to use the neighbour opposite him. And funny enough, yeah, I don't hear this neighbour downstairs. Apart every now and then when he has music on, or he's got his son round, don't hear him going out the door, don't hear him locking the door. So that tells me that door's left open for someone to sneak in there every day. And even if his car's gone, which it is now, yeah, there's someone downstairs. And due to the equipment being moved around, I'm not an expert, I presume they've got equipment down there. And when I'm sitting in my living room, and after I finish in the kitchen, you can hear all the clicks and the movement of equipment, and it'll be moved into the living room. There's always various ways of setting up this Big Brother on people. And the same in the bedroom, yeah, and the same around mother's house, yeah. They'll move the equipment from the kitchen into the room where the target is daily. So that's why I know, yeah, these covert operators and the way they do the remote neural monitoring, they have to use properties next door to the targets and use the people who are supposed to be living in there, and people can sneak in and out, yeah, to move the equipment for remote neural monitorers. And the whole goal of it all is to break the target down emotionally, physically, mentally, and drain all their resources, drain all their finances, and try and destroy the target daily, like sticks and stones, like 1,000 cuts. We just keep coming back, chipping away at the target, hoping they can break the target down. If they really wanted to help me, I'll still be working. Yeah, but also it's all linked to social engineers. Yeah, realise the old psychiatrists, retired ones to the senior ones, how old they are. Yeah, they've learned to master social engineering. They've learned about the targeting programme and they cover it up. Yeah, same as the police force. Think about the retired ones. to the really old ones who are in charge of the police force, from DCIs, to police inspectors, to police commissioners, to the sergeants, yeah? And they train all the people underneath them who take orders. Same as the armed forces boys and girls, yeah? You've got retired people from the armed forces in the UK, the IRF, the Navy, the military, yeah? They know about the targeting program, but they're all about the equipment, the apparatus, how to set it all up, and they're training a new breed and how to set it up. While there's plenty of dropouts there, plenty of corrupted Racketeering young ones who learn it quick, how to set up the equipment, yeah? I've mentioned there's armed forces connections in Coventry, and they'll train a new generation of thieves, lowlifes, dirty voyeurs, dirty evil, narcissistic, murdering type of overt and covert operators to go around targeting for them. And I say the whole thing is they list targets and just throw in loads of rubbish about them linked to ever since after 9/11 just took off worldwide, linked to terrorism, and they'll say anything about targets, saying the target's a sex case, a rapist, a paedophile, a drug dealer, putting drugs out in the community, blah, blah, blah. Even though, what I know of Coventry, they've got loads of drug dealers and loads of drug takers who they use, and loads of people in mental health already. Yeah, so that's why I know it's a corrupted system. And the people from our old association, yeah, all the different schools I mentioned, Camden Castle School, to Cardinal Wiseman, to Stoke Park, from my side of town, yeah, all the people from my generation, they're all corrupted, and they've brought the sons and daughters up the same way, and they've corrupted their partners who work for the NHS, medical industry, who work for social services, healthcare, mental health, yeah, and they're going out targeting the old associates, and they've all been given access to remote neural monitoring, sitting behind the computers or all the phones, got access to a secret website, and they all think they can sit there laughing at the target, so or log in at any time to see what's happening. That's Big Brother. That's what they've set up, and that's what it's took off from. So the cycle continues. I'm just mentioning it. As you can hear, there's a big click that's gone off. They moved the equipment around, wherever I'm sitting, wherever I'm lying in bed. Yeah, the broken covert team leader in charge of the remote neural monitors, in charge of the sectors, or has access to making phone calls to psychiatrists, psychologists, and mental health administrators and social workers. Yeah, he's disgusting, he's evil, he's a coward, he's a lowlife, scum of the earth, and he's not fit enough to face me face to face. He'd rather do it behind a computer screen and behind a optic and behind a screen, any type of screen, watching me as a remote neural monitorer, while he has disgusting evil minions running around for him, trying to do psychology on my brain. So, yeah, so that's what I think of him. But he's not brave enough to say anything to my face and why he's doing it all. And that's why I know they're evil. Yeah, they're not trustworthy. They're not here to help me. Yeah, they can sit there trying to messenger me, eat more, eat more, eat more. Yeah, but I eat when I want to eat. Yeah, I ain't no robot, ain't no animal, ain't no no child. Yeah, I eat when I want to eat. You broken sector abusers, broken healthcare abusers, broken mental health administrators, and broken Coventry community members, and broken old associates. And the memory is, I've never been in mental health. Yeah, but any time, yeah, that I've been in hospital was in July 2004 during the World Cup. That's the World Cup's on now. Yeah, and they had to get two false documents to say that I've been in mental health to go and bribe a judge, or the judge is in on it, the Family Court Protection, yeah, and they had to show that judge the two fraudulent files stating, oh, he's been in hospital before. So apparently he's relapsed, and the two fraudulent files made up had about six dates stating that I've been in mental health in mental health hospitals before, in a mental health institution, when I never have. Yeah, so that's how disgusting Coventry Council are. Coventry Family Court Protection, Kangaroo Court. Yeah, they make up the rules as they go along. And when I was exposed in 2004 and winning money in front of them, because I set up Big Brother in my old block of flats, yeah, a covert leader, yeah, threw a spanner in the works because his head was battered, yeah, and whoever psychiatrists are, psychologists are, mental health administrators are, yeah, and they wanted to detain me because I was having fun. And I realised they want to detain people because they want to destroy their lives. Yeah? And they want to destroy their fun, and especially around Christmas time, festive times, or target's birthday, or when the target's having fun or working, they want to stitch a target up into mental health because they want to see people suffering. Yeah, we want to. Yeah, because they're evil, they want to induce depression, mental health illness. And that's what we're doing around me. So they had to socially engineer a stitch and frame up in 2014 with 2 fraudulent files. Yeah, bribed the judge, or the judge is in on it, showed the judge with 2 fraudulent files, saying he's been in hospital before, so it's going to do no harm. We've had loads of phone calls from the neighbourhood and from his works area stating his relapse is going off in one, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? And that's how, the only time that they've got me into mental health hospital. So everyone in Coventry realise that. Yeah? Realise that, yeah, all my YouTubers is exposing the system. And I've not got mental, not got depression, ain't got no mental illness. The only people who've got mental illness has got depression are the covert operators, are the remote neural monitorers, are the targeting idiots who are trying to learn about it all. Yeah, all the families from my old association, old faces, all the idiots who passed me on public transport, who passed me in the community, who've been spying on me, going out shopping, spying on me every day. The neighbours, yeah, they've all got clinical depression. Yeah, the man next door, yeah, he's depressed. Yeah, he should be sectioned because he's got no children, he's got no partner. Yeah, and he's just sitting there, yeah, spying on me and making phone calls to police force or to social services and to mental health administrators, and he's sitting there with some kind of eavesdropping equipment. That's what I think. Whether 100% right, down to the police to investigate, down to the sectors to investigate, and down to the corporate team leader to get him out of there, or tell him to stop, he's been rumbled. Same as the people downstairs, whoever's involved in the neighbourhood, yeah? I don't go around knocking my doors, I don't go around disrupting them, they should not be listening to me. Or spying on me, or making phone calls to social services if they ain't got the dignity to say anything to my face. That includes everyone in Coventry. Yeah, you should not be making phone calls about adults that you're not in your association with, that are not in your family, that don't associate with you, and ain't got your phone number. I've said it before, yeah? And you should not be trolling the social media. That includes all my old school associates, all my old neighbours, all my old co-workers, and all the present neighbours and present community members. Yeah, even all the foreign people, yeah? From all different cultures, all different creeds, all different nationalities, all different religions. Yeah, you have no right to make phone calls about people that you do not know. And then that's what targeted system is about. Yeah, they get people to make phone calls about targets to social services and to mental health, healthcare abusers who are part of a targeting problem. So everyone digest it all, psychoanalyse it all. Yeah, it's just a quick, I don't know about quick, but it's just a little brief blog exposing and how to settle Big Brother on people, all types of nefarious ways, and how they play psychology with sounds, the overt and covert operations, and then how they use the NHS, healthcare, social services, and mental health administrators to try and stitch and frame targets up into care because they've got it in for them. That's what the covert operations are all about. Yeah, the senior covert team leader, justice will be served on you, and your life is a misery, along with all the people you're training, along with all the Coventry community members who are covering up for you. Yeah, all your lives are a misery if you carry on watching Big Brother, remote neural monitoring, targeting protocols being set on people like me. And that's going out to everyone in my past association. You're a bunch of degenerated, low-life, corrupted, racketeering, evil, narcissistic, twisted, broken down, stubborn, twisted, psychological warfare-enabled idiots. That's what's going on in Coventry. Everybody have a good day. Over and out.